Hello everybody, good morning. I am Foutini. I'm talking to you from Athens, Greece. I'm a self-knowledge consultant. I'm an esoteric astrologer, an artist, writer, an activator of higher consciousness, and I'm carrying the energies of the High Priestess. In my channel, Holistic Healing, you can find various things. You can find esoteric astrology videos, you can find self-knowledge content of how we create. I'm talking about the 7 rays. I'm giving you advice about how you can use your etheric body, how you can work with certain activation. I'm bringing channels through Ascended Master and especially Mary Magdalene, and whenever I feel guided to bring something forth, I'm doing that. The purpose of this channel is to actually present a new way of life, the way of the rose, the way of love, or the way towards love, through embodiment and not philosophical talking, and not through tarot reading. It's a very new content on YouTube. I'm not talking about manifestation, I'm talking about creation. I'm talking about knowing thyself, knowing the rays, knowing the etheric bodies, bringing the knowledge for the new golden age. I'm an Aquarius and I have my ascendant in Gemini and my moon sign is in Scorpio. My celestial origin is coming from various, I'm a Blu-ray priestess, and my celestial origin is from Sirius and Orion, Mintaka Orion. I am having the energies of the mermaids and dolphins and whales. These are my spiritual animals, my shamanic animals. And this video, today, Fool's Day, we are looking forward for the full moon in Aries Libra axis. I'm a yellow solar sun and this is the Venus line. Is about how you bring all this, because I said so many things about me, and believe me, it's not that I wanted to impress you or saying, oh, look of what I am. I wanted just to share with you that I'm coming from a long path where I was starting 25 years ago doing something extremely different, although I have Mars in Libra and so I was an eternal outlaw, but starting from a simple question and a very common experience for many of us, which was the breakdown of a very important relationship in my life. And look where I am now, 25 years after that. I have discovered so many things about me, about previous lives, about the laws of the universe. And actually, I remember, I took the part of my own story, and through that I remembered the basic laws of the universe, the basic laws of creation. And I went through a lot of pain and a lot of discomfort, but also a lot of appreciation and remembrance of what it is to be in a human form in this earth plane. And this is what I am sharing now, because we have entered actually a new era of existing upon earth. And this era asks from us new ways of thinking, of creating, of being. One of my seminars is Reinvent Yourself. It's like the new you is something unknown, because you are a vast being. You are not your story, you are not your ancestors, you are not your job. You are a vast being. And you can go and travel the world, but you can also travel within and find who you truly are. One way that I wanted to share with you, especially today, is the creative form of inventing yourself, of creating a new life. And I wanted to share some of the tools of that. And the tools are various. One of my favorite ones is painting. As a young child, I'd like to paint and read fairy tales. But then I went through a traumatic experience within my family, and I stopped doing that. I found that later in my life. It was 8 years ago. And slowly the happiness and the joy came back into my life. When I understood that the language of creation, it's the language of the childlike mind. Yes, I know, you can use computers, you can use artificial intelligence, which I am not favorite of, but this is my opinion, and here I am just suggesting. Okay, I'm not pointing fingers to anybody. And I realized that using painting as a way to guide my subconscious mind, because the languages of divination are astrology, of course, are mathematics, of course, are codes, numerology, and even tarot for the fourth dimension. But there is something very specific that I want to explain here, because the main thing of self-knowledge is actually to combine the human experience and the divine experience. And the divine experience has to do with knowing everything, but in codes. It's not literally a language. It's the higher mind, is the celestial knowledge. And being a human is the conscious mind, is the filter through which the human can be aware of the divine. But this is very difficult because, you know, the physical mind is a program, like Windows 7, for example. When the divine intelligence, which by the way is the third ray that is passing through Libra, is a divine intelligence. And the divine intelligence is all that is. So you cannot filter all that is through a small part that is the human mind. And this is exactly how you have to transmit information without actually speaking. I hope I can make you see what I'm what I want to say. Let's say, for example, that you are going to a music concert and you are hearing a music, and this music is coming into your field, your energetic field, and reshape and awake within you dormant knowledge, and this is coming to the surface, and you feel like doing something. This is, for example, a third-ray body. Side note here, you can have your ray chart, see the offerings in my community board. The ray chart is knowing all your 7 rays in all your bodies. So, a music piece is coming into your energetic field, and suddenly, not at that moment, but maybe in a week, you feel like doing something, and this something is bringing into your awareness something that you didn't know, but now that you do, it's so useful for you, so important, and this is the active intelligence. It's not something that you read, it's not something that you heard specifically as like a podcast or something like that, but it's a remembrance. The same thing with painting. What I came to find out is I had a desire of doing something, creating something, have an experience. And let's say, for example, that you want to have a relationship, a love relationship, and the ordinary people will say, okay, socialize, go out, maybe use a dating app, and this is the practical 3D way of doing things. But then, let's say your inner self, your intuitive self, guides you to paint something that symbolizes that you want to have this experience, a heartfelt, beautiful, loving relationship. And you paint that, and this creates the ripple effects within your auric field so that you can attract this experience. And it has happened. It has happened to me. So then you can paint something else about an experience that you want to have. Or another way that I was guided to bring forth was the codes, was numerological frequencies that carry certain meditation or seminars that offered a side path from going to a strict seminar where certain ways were presented. And so you are creating from the 4th dimension and the 5th dimension, eliminating time, because you are talking to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is connected with the all that is you. 3 weeks ago, no, let me rephrase that. 1 year ago, I had an idea about doing something, and I didn't plan to do it. I didn't take certain action, but I kept it in my auric field. And 1 week ago, what I was thinking came in front of me, and I could materialize it. So, opening your centers within your body using painting or music or dance is actually opening the gates within your body so that the storage, the library that you carry within can come into the forefront. By the way, that was the way that I remember that I know astrology. When I was studying the race in the 3 years course in 2002, sorry, I looked up in the cell in the room where I had my course, and I saw esoteric astrology. At that point, at that time, the only thing I knew about astrology, and it's a story that I like to share with people, the only thing I knew was that I was an Aquarius, nothing else. What did I do? I took the book, had a look, and then went home and ordered it. And had it beside my bed, and each night, before I closed my eyes, I was reading 10 pages, 20 pages. Didn't understand anything. Then, 2 years later, I went to have my chart read in an astrologer here in Athens. She looked at my chart and said, "What are you doing here? You have come to me to learn about astrology, but you are a teacher. You are a teacher of teachers." And I looked at her and I said, either me or her, we are totally nuts. But she was so kind. And I left her home thinking about her words. And I kept on reading astrology. Then, after 3 years, one day I looked at the chart of a friend of mine and started explaining to him his life. And he was astonished because I had said to him everything, described to him everything in details. I want to emphasize that up to that point, I only have read 3 or 4 books in astrology. But I was so accurate when I was looking the chart. Then I had my first Akashic reading. And after that, a very deep meditation where I was guided back to Atlantis, where I was in the temples of Atlantis, and I saw myself as a student there, and I heard my higher self telling to me, "You were studying healing arts and astrology, and that was the basic knowledge for that era." And during my Akashic reading, I learned that in a part of my multidimensional aspect in Sirius, I was teaching others astrology. Yet my conscious aspect, this human vessel in the physical, hadn't access to that until the moment I was guided to hold this book. And it was the energy of the book that entered my auric field and made me remember. Why I'm sharing all that? I'm sharing all that because right now, as we speak, this month, Uranus enters Gemini on the 24th of April. And this is new forms of communication. But Gemini is about connecting the physical and the etheric body. And Uranus is the electric current that will come in between the physical and the etheric and awaken the hidden parts within us. it might be the traumas, it might be the knowledge. How do you do that? How you are prepared for that? Well, the first key is having an esoteric astrology reading and a ray chart. From that point, you can start have a map of where you want to go, what is your purpose, who are you in this lifetime, how can you find out, how can you be in alignment, how you can bring everything that you are in a functional way, in a harmonious way, so that you can live a harmonious life. And harmony brings happiness. How can you do that? By finding different ways of divination. And this is active intelligence. This is intelligence that is coming through experience. It's not something that you will have through tarot. Okay, I don't have anything against tarot, because it's a language of divination, but it's not for this age. It's not for the age of Aquarius. And because this age asks for occult knowledge, and it's about remembrance. It's about knowing, for example, when I see your astrocartography, that if you go to that place upon earth, you will have remembrance of this period of your life, or igniting something within your chart that will be useful. And so, using all these tools, you save yourself time and money, which are now so important. Because part of, for example, one of the last codes that I have, 222 code, which is a whole seminar, is about how you use your resources in the new era of Aquarius. And this has to do, again, with your map, with your race, with your Venus placement, and all of that. Everything is connected. What I'm offering is an overview, a synthetic way of gathering all your own identity into a harmonious outlet, so that you can experience the best of your abilities and not get lost in readings, in watching countless videos. And because Uranus in Gemini is pretty chaotic, because there is so much information available out there, but not a certain guidance, so that you can know what is best for you. What is best for you. So I'm going to leave this video here for now, but I'm going to come back because I have a lot of examples to share of how you can use the various things, the various tools. And I will post all the offerings beneath this video. If you want to know more, you can have a 15 minutes free wisdom talk with me, so that we can see what it is in the forefront of your needs. And of course, to have an astrology reading, so that you can see what each yourself is asking from you right now. Thank you very much. I would appreciate if you subscribe and like the video, if you do, of course. and I will be back with more about the subject. Have a beautiful full moon in Libra. Bye for now.